One of the most anticipated Nigerian albums of 2020 is finally upon us. Let's just get straight to the business, man. Without much ado. I got a reason, I got so much to give. It was okay. It was lax, but it was okay.
Anywhere I go, they come up with my bum, my love. Oh, they do like
if you want me, make a ginger, give me the cocoa. The hook here was lovely, man. So was the instrumental. Like, forget what people say about Burna Boy, man. Like, Burna Boy is at the top of Nigerian music because he is supremely talented, man. Fuck what anybody says, man. He's talented. The pitch of his voice was crazy, man.
She too sweet. I said, what's good? She told me you'll see. Said she living life like a movie. I said, come and
I really like Skepta's voice, man. Like, and delivery, even though as a lyricist, he's not the greatest like that. Like, I like how comfortable he sounds on this very lush beat. Till we get no time. Oh my old baby, balance it. Wizkid self came through. Like, I hate that lazy whoa thing he says to fill up bars. But on the average, this song was very, very solid all through. And I feel it feels like an appropriate sequel to Bad Energy, Stay Far Away. Okay, on this song, like, all the good things are present. Like, all the good things about the album, they are still present on this song. But the writings, man, I have to say, the writings, they haven't been up to scratch so far.
Self-preservation, self-elevation, these days deserve celebration. No.
The way this song began was what I wanted to hear before this album came out, to be honest. And that was what I premeditated to happen. Like, it really depicted the hustle, bustle mentality of rural Lagos. And even though the vibe made me pay less attention to the content here, the writing was much better, especially on Damian Marley's part. Saying me in your life, your whole life. I don't want to say too much here. We've heard this track before. Har's voice was lovely and really fitted with the reggae theme of the song. Like me, so come get a piece. How can you say this is whack, man? How me some LMA, man? The hook was so sweet, my ear almost developed diabetes, man. Bawasa. I've reviewed the song before. I still feel the same way about it. At the end of the day, this is true. It brings memories of like a very, 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 very thirsty Marvin Gaye, man. Rest in peace to Marvin Gaye, with the explicit sex talk and the rest. And the vibe too, again, the vibe is standing out so far, man, so far. And I pray say me see me you. She tell me say she no go see me Peaceful, man, peaceful. Man, this is my type of sound, man. I still hate the way he uses that whoa to fill up bars though. But I love this sound, man. I love it. Hey, my wife don't shoot. You don't need no other body. This is one of the best songs on this album, man. Like, Thames is on our way, I swear, man. Like, everything she spits right now is just turning to gold. I love the way she and Wizkid sounded as a duo. See, stop looking for content from Wizkid, man. Umar Penny bust up, man. That is not his forte, man. It ain't his That's what she did do, the things with the bust in my head, though. She crazy like a rock star. This was another of my favorite songs on this album. Like, I never almost say... What am I saying? I almost never say no to palm wine sound. Never. I never. Too, man. Terry no carry last. Like, he always comes for Wizkid's head anytime they share the same song.
London.
Me and my people let the twin the bonds. Yeah, we did together through the firestorm.
Talking
If
about
they want
Ganja,
to
possibly my favorite beat on this album, man. I know I'm being sentimental, but I don't know, man. This beat, it just strikes a chord inside me, man. Like especially that. I loved it. Like I loved it to pieces, man.
and I keep it so cool, keep my mind real sane tonight.
Okay song, but it doesn't feel like a closing song for me. But it was okay. Content wise, it's relatively repetitive, centered around monotonous tales of love, lost, and celebration, with small bits of appreciation. Um, that one said day and victory laps. To be honest, the album title it made me expect some things like things that Lagosians would relate to, no matter how shallow. I just feel that, but that was what I just expected. Sha. Shoo, you won't tell me say na Punanu na just the cheese over there. You can't tell me that. Later on, when I was being realistic, man, I never really expected Wizkid to deliver in content. Like he was never the greatest songwriter, and he possibly never would be. Nobody had a cause him. But it doesn't mean that some of the writings were whack like that. It wasn't too whack. It was whack, but it wasn't too whack like that. Like there was still a small percentage of wisdom. Like there was something he said on one song that he does not give a man more than what the man deserves, because people bite the hands that feed them. That's very very clever writing. He's mainly about vibes, and he delivered here. If we are being truthful, like I really like the fact that his music really reflects who he is in reality. Sonically, it's rich, very mature, and very very cohesive. Like my type of sound. Yes sir, yes sir, yes boss. There were fusions of a lot of genres, and it blended beautifully. I also liked everybody's vocal performance on this album. Like Wizkid was steady and solid. I guess he was not trying to do too much, I think. And the features, they were all magnificent, from Burna Boy to Ella May to Thames, Terry. Everybody killed it, man. All of it I wanted to hear. Omogeja Soro, calling me 1 2 3, boo hoo hoo, Negro. He appealed to a larger demographic here, and it worked. Even though like this album feels more like made in Jamaica or made in Antigua and Barbados, much more than Lagos. I'm talking about the sound. If I'm keeping it 100 with you, it's one thing again that I liked is that this album, if you're listening to it, it really doesn't have any bad song. People only say this album is whack because it is slow, and even though I'm not the biggest Wizkid fan, I totally disagree, man. I told one of my very, very important homies, man, like we need to stop looking at this album for what we want it to be and start looking at it for what it really is. And it's dope, relaxing music. Even though like the songwriting leaves much to be desired. I know Superstar is his magnum opus, like in the general Nigerian eye. And I know I will ruffle some feathers when I say this. But this is my favorite Wizkid album. It was really, really enjoyable. It was my favorite Wizkid album. I assure you, this album will age very, very well.